The X-Men are overrated, and their constant retirements prove it. Think about it. Wolverine goes from claw slashing to limo driving, only to be dragged back in. We're counting down the top 10 X-Men who tried to escape the superhero life. From Beast's shady science to Jean Grey's Phoenix trauma, Rogue's identity crisis, and even Cyclops' infamous family drama. They may try to leave the X-Men, but can any mutant truly escape their destiny? Let's find out. Coming in at number 10, Hank McCoy, the brilliant scientist and agile mutant known as Beast, took a leave of absence from the X-Men, though his reasons were different from those of his teammates. After graduating from Xavier's school, Beast pursued a career in genetic research, driven by his insatiable curiosity and his desire to understand the very nature of mutation. He sought to use his intellect to improve the lives of mutants, but his thirst for knowledge, his desire to push the boundaries of science, would eventually lead him down a darker path, one that would bring him back to the X-Men in a very different capacity. Beast's story serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the noblest intentions can be corrupted by ambition and the pursuit of knowledge without ethical boundaries. At number 9, Rogue, the Southern Belle with the power to absorb the powers, memories, and even personalities of others through touch, has also sought refuge from the X-Men. Her power, while formidable, is also a curse. After a traumatic experience where she permanently absorbed Ms. Marvel's powers and memories, Rogue was left adrift, struggling with her own identity and her place within the team. She questioned whether she could ever have a normal life, a normal relationship, free from the fear of accidentally hurting someone she cared about. But Rogue's story is not one of despair. It's a story of resilience. She found support and understanding within the X-Men, particularly from Gambit, and with the help of her fellow mutants and through rigorous training and self-discovery, Rogue eventually learned to control her powers, to embrace her unique abilities, and to forge her own identity as a hero. Taking the number 8 spot, Jean Grey, the powerful telepath and telekinetic whose connection to the Phoenix Force has defined much of her life, has had her own complex relationship with retirement. After sacrificing herself to save the universe from the destructive power of the Dark Phoenix, Jean was eventually resurrected, but the trauma of her experiences, the sheer terror of losing control to the Phoenix's immense power, left deep scars. She sought a life away from the constant battles and the ever-present threat of the Phoenix Force, a life where she could simply be Jean Grey, not a cosmic entity or a superhero. She even retired her codename Marvel Girl, choosing to embrace her own identity, separate from the expectations and burdens that came with being a member of the X-Men. Jean's connection to the Phoenix Force is a powerful metaphor for the burdens of great power and the struggle for control. Flying in at number 7, Archangel, Warren Worthington III, the high-flying mutant with majestic feathered wings, endured a horrific transformation into Archangel, Apocalypse's horseman of death. This traumatic experience left him scarred, both physically and mentally, forcing him to battle his inner darkness as he struggled to reconcile his two personas, the benevolent angel and the ruthless Archangel. His retirement was a period of intense self-reflection and a desperate attempt to regain control of his life. The duality of his nature, the constant struggle between his inherent goodness and the darkness imposed upon him, makes Archangel's journey one of the most compelling in X-Men history, securing the number 6 position, Colossus. Pyotr Rasputin, the gentle giant with the power to transform his body into organic steel, was a stalwart member of the X-Men for many years, but he also experienced profound loss and betrayal, particularly during the era of the Legacy Virus, a deadly disease that targeted mutants. The death of his sister Ileana from the virus deeply affected him, leading him to question his role as a hero and to seek solace in a life away from the constant fighting. Colossus's retirement was a period of mourning, a time for him to grapple with the immense losses he'd suffered and to try to find meaning in a world that seemed determined to take everything from him. Coming in at number 5, Cyclops, Scott Summers. Cyclops, the steadfast leader of the X-Men. Cyclops' relationship with retirement is complicated, to say the least. After the devastating events of the Dark Phoenix saga, a heartbroken Cyclops retired to Alaska, seeking solace and a new beginning. He found love again with Madeline Pryor, and they started a family together. But the world of the X-Men is rarely peaceful. When Jean was revealed to be alive, Cyclops made a controversial decision. He abandoned his wife and newborn child to rejoin the X-Men, drawn back to the life he thought he'd left behind. He later joined X-Factor. This moment highlights a recurring theme in Cyclops' life: the difficult choices he's forced to make as a leader, choices that often come at a high personal cost. Blasting into number 4, Gambit. Remy LeBeau, the charming Cajun thief with the ability to charge objects with explosive kinetic energy, has always been a complex character, walking a fine line between hero and rogue. He even served as Death, one of Apocalypse's horsemen, for a time, a period that forced him to confront his own inner darkness and the destructive potential of his powers. His departures from the X-Men were often driven by his own internal conflicts and his struggle to reconcile his past with his desire to be a hero. Gambit's story is a reminder that even the most charismatic individuals can harbor deep secrets and struggle with their own morality. Phasing in at number 3, Kate Pryde, the phasing mutant whose ability to walk through walls is just one facet of her incredible journey. From the bright-eyed innocent Kitty Pryde to the seasoned battle-hardened Shadowcat and then Captain Kate Pryde, she's been a mainstay of the X-Men for over 40 years. But even Kate had her reasons for stepping away from the team. The Krakoan era was a period of intense moral ambiguity and difficult choices for the X-Men, and Kate was right in the middle of it. She was forced to make decisions that went against her very nature, even resorting to killing in order to protect her people. This trauma took a heavy toll. She longed for the simpler times, the youthful optimism and joy she felt before the weight of leadership and the darkness of war became too heavy a burden to bear. But like a moth to a flame, Kate couldn't stay away from the fight for mutant survival forever. With the fall of Krakoa and the rise of new threats, she's returned to protect her people, this time as a mentor to a new generation of heroes. But her time away wasn't spent idle. In a surprising move, Kate joined the Guardians of the Galaxy and even took on the mantle of Star-Lord, just missing the top spot. At number 2, Cable. Nathan Summers, the time-traveling soldier from a dystopian future, dedicated his life to preventing the horrors he'd witnessed from ever coming to pass. He battled his evil clone, Strife, across time, a conflict that consumed him for years. His retirements were often brief interludes between missions, a chance to regroup and prepare for the next battle in his never-ending war against the forces that threatened to destroy the future. Cable's entire existence is a testament to the enduring struggle against fate and the sacrifices required to protect the future. He is a soldier out of time, a man burdened by the knowledge of what could be, forever fighting to change it. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, the number 1 retired X-Man is Wolverine. Logan, the best there is at what he does, and what he does isn't very nice. This gruff, ageless Canadian with adamantium claws and a healing factor that just won't quit is practically the poster child for the tormented X-Man. After decades of fighting alongside the X-Men, experiencing more loss and bloodshed than any one person should have to endure, even Wolverine needed a break. The physical toll was immense. Hugh Jackman, who brilliantly portrayed Wolverine in the X-Men movies, even admitted that the physicality of the role was hurting him. But Wolverine's retirement wasn't just about physical exhaustion. It was about the emotional and psychological burden of being a perpetual soldier in a seemingly endless war. He was tired of the cycle of violence, the constant rebuilding and reboots that the X-Men seemed to be trapped in. In the film Logan, a possible future is depicted where a weary older Wolverine has retired from the X-Men, working as a limo driver and caring for an ailing Professor X. But did Wolverine truly find peace in retirement? The answer, as fans well know, is a resounding no. Thanks to Deadpool, Wolverine is set to return to the big screen in Deadpool and Wolverine, and in the comics, he's right back in the thick of it. Want to see more videos like this one? Check out this video next. It's about the newest members of the X-Men that you never knew about until right now. We're breaking down in chronological order the newest members, so make sure to click now so you don't miss that next video.